Welcome to Hall in Tirol.
One of the most beautiful hidden gems in all of Austria.
So let's explore the unexplored.
Hall in Tirol is located just around 8 kilometers east of Innsbruck, making it an easy day trip. But despite its small size today, Hall was once one of the most important towns in Tirol. And there's an unexpected connection between this little Austrian town and something used all over the world today: the US dollar. So, how did a medieval town in the Austrian Alps become connected to the dollar? Let's find out. One of the most interesting places to truly understand Hall's history is Burg Hasegg. Hall's wealth originally came from salt, which was mined in the nearby Halltal from the Middle Ages onward. But Hall's importance grew even further in the 15th century. In 1477, the Tyrolean mint was moved here from Meran, partly because of the enormous silver production in nearby Schwaz. Soon, Hall became one of Europe's most important centers for producing large silver coins. In 1486, the mint produced the first guldiner, a large silver coin that became the prototype for the thaler. The thaler would go on to become one of Europe's most important silver currencies, and its name eventually evolved into the word we know today, dollar.
But unfortunately, it was closed when we came here.
For centuries, Hall remained at the forefront of European coin production, making this small Tyrolean town far more influential than its size might suggest. And nowhere is this former wealth more visible than in its historic old town. As you walk through its narrow streets, you'll find colorful medieval houses, elegant facades, as well as former merchant buildings, all reflecting the prosperity that salt, silver, and trade brought to the town.
A fun fact about Hall in Tirol is that its old town is bigger than the one in Innsbruck.
But the old town isn't just beautiful to walk through. There are also some great places to get a different perspective of Hall. One of the most important buildings here is the Rathaus, or town hall. The building has served as Hall's town hall since the early 15th century, when it was given to the town in 1406. And if you head up the stairs, besides the Rathaus, you get an even better view of the historic center. From up here, you can really see just how compact Hall is, and how much of its historic center has survived.
So right behind me you can see one of the most beautiful spots in Hall in Tirol. The amazing St. Nicholas Church dating back to the 14th century.
Rising high above the surrounding rooftops, the church's Gothic tower is one of the defining features of Hall's skyline. Inside, the architecture becomes even more impressive. The Gothic structure was later complemented by an elaborate Baroque interior, creating a beautiful contrast between the simplicity of the medieval architecture and the rich decorations added centuries later. With its soaring ceiling, ornate frescoes, and very detailed altars, it's easy to see why St. Nicholas Church is one of the highlights of Hall's old town.
We are in the front of the Bergbaumuseum, which is open only 3 days a week: Monday, Thursday, and Saturday.
And it only has one tour and we missed it because it wasn't really written online. So be aware of that.
Don't do the same mistake as we did.
Close to the museum is another beautiful place that you have to see while in town.
So right behind me we have the Herz-Jesu Basilika, a beautiful church with an even more interesting history. So let's go inside.
The church was originally built in the 16th century as part of a convent for women, but its religious history was interrupted in 1783 when Emperor Joseph II dissolved the convent as part of his reforms and confiscated the property. The building was subsequently used for secular purposes for more than a century, before eventually being returned to its religious use. Today, the Herz-Jesu Basilika is once again a functioning church, and its beautiful interior make it a perfect final stop on our tour of Hall. And after exploring Hall's history, it was time for something a little more traditional. We stopped for some Tyrolean spätzle, the perfect way to end the day. Hall in Tirol may be small, but its history is certainly not. From salt and silver to the thaler and its connection to the dollar, this little town played a surprisingly important role in European history. And that's exactly what makes Hull such a fascinating hidden gem. If you've enjoyed discovering this hidden gem, then don't forget to subscribe for more hidden gems in Austria and around the world. And don't forget, never stop exploring.